Watching the Western Conference semifinals, game 2 with the Phoenix Suns up 1-0, trailing Dallas 54-46. Great to have you with us tonight, Kevin Harlan and Doug Collins. A little difference between game 1 and game 2.
Well, the aggressiveness, no question, with Dallas. You saw the play there at the end of the half when Joe Johnson took the unfortunate fall, got injured. I don't know whether they're going to see him or not the second half, but you can just tell that Dallas knows if they don't win tonight, they're probably not going to beat the Suns 4 out of 5 games. That's put so much pressure on them to break through tonight, because this is a different team than they played against in Houston. So that tonight is a big game.
It's pretty rare that you say a game 2 is that pivotal, but I think in this case it may be warranted.
Well, when you look at the numbers, Phoenix was 31-10 on the road, so you would expect them to probably go get a game in Dallas. So I mean, eventually Dallas, and that means if Phoenix wins a game there, that means they'd have to win 2 here. So, I mean, tonight I think it's a huge game for Dallas's psyche. And Phoenix, I talked to Steve Nash at halftime a little bit, and he said he said, we've got to get back to doing what we do best. We tried to do too much on our own in that first half. If we'll get back to do what we do, we'll get right back in this game.
All right, let's go to Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Kevin and Doug. An update on Joe Johnson's condition. He received 6 stitches above his left eye. He was taken to a local hospital so he could receive a CAT scan. Obviously, he will not return. Let's send it back to you guys.
I think he's probably still a little bit woozy as well, and so just as a precautionary measure, it's good to get him to the hospital and further examination.
You know, Kevin, as you and I sit here, we see Mike D'Antoni. As we watch that foul over and over again, and you don't want to diminish, how hard Joe Johnson fell. I mean, there's no question Jerry Stackhouse went up to block that, and it looked like Joe Johnson grabbed the ring and his feet flipped out from underneath him. Let's hope and pray that he's going to be okay, because he took a very, very nasty fall, and Dick Bavetta felt like it warranted a flagrant foul.
Phoenix won game 1 by 25. In the first half, the big lead of the Dallas Mavericks was as high as 14 points, and you can see the comparison of the centers. Completely different games from 1 to 2.
Well, they got him involved early, and you know what, Kevin? Dampier did a nice job. He hung around the basket, and I would say he got 4 very easy scores. I counted at least 2 dunks and 2 layups. When you get those kind of scores, it really buoys your spirits. Now, Dallas played a terrific 24 minutes. Do they have the composure and the discipline and the patience to come out and do it for 24 more? Because, Kevin, Phoenix is not going to change what they're doing, except I think they're going to go back to moving the ball a little bit more and trusting one another. They play too much one-on-one basketball trying to exploit matchups.
So we start the second half. Nash, Stoudemire with Richardson and Sean Marion and Jimmy Jackson taking the place of the injured Joe Johnson. And just like that, a drive inside by Sean Marion. The Suns have only led for a $120 tonight, and they've only led by 1 point early in the game.
Sean Marion loves to go to his left. When you close out on him, even though he's a right-handed player, here's Nowitzki off that little screen. He misses the jumper.
Here comes Nash, Howard, Dampier, Nowitzki, Finley, and Terry. That's a 3 by Richardson.
If I'm Avery Johnson and I don't score here, as Phoenix does, I take an immediate timeout, whether it be a 20 or whatever. Dallas has come out a little soft, and Phoenix has come out with the fire we saw in game 1.
Dampier screen, the switch on defense, out of bounds. Dampier couldn't get the pass.
That big lead already down to 1 possession now.
And look the other way, Stoudemire going inside. Finley cracked him as he entered the lane.
See, all of a sudden now Dallas starting to talk to one another again. Dampier was back. They threw the ball all the way up the sideline. Here's the first play. Marion drives left. So when you close him out, you got to push him to his right. Got to read the scouting reports on these guys. And then what happens? The 3 trailing Quentin Richardson, which is like a lightning rod to this team. And then the hard foul. Dampier does not get back. It'll be 2 free throws. So that lead will be whittled away. All that hard work that Dallas put in for 24 minutes, it's going to be down to 1 point here after 3 possessions. Avery Johnson's got to be very careful here. He's got to get his team guidance in this situation.
Dampier picked up his second foul.
Now this is home court.
Nowitzki. Now with the chance to take a lead, Steve Nash. Sean Marion for the lead. Richardson couldn't tap it in. Amari Stoudemire. Dampier with the rebound. He's got 7. Jason Terry and Michael Finley. He has been perfect tonight. Just great. 5 of 7, 13 points. That is a game high.
Big shot, though. Michael Finley's done it throughout his career, silencing that crowd. But here's Marion once again. Boy, it looks like whatever Mike D'Antoni said, this team is loaded with energy right now. I don't know if they're rallying around Joe Johnson having to leave, but this crowd is on fire, and the Suns are playing the kind of basketball we saw in Game 1.
You know, Judge, when you watch this Phoenix offense, it's like a no-huddle offense in the NFL.
It's exactly what it is. Keep the ball moving, keep the defense in transition, and it starts to work after time.
The 2005 NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by McDonald's.
Well, Dallas holding on to the slimmest of margins, 1.957 to go in third. Kevin, we're going to show you a little bit about what Phoenix does. Amari Stoudemire sprints down the floor, and a guard has to pick him up. That's Michael Finley. This is Dirk Nowitzki and Dampier. They must talk now. There's 2 players over here, and they've got to communicate with how they're going to match up. Dampier has not seen the ball. Nowitzki does not see the ball. And what happens? They swing it. Nowitzki runs out, and Marion with a little shot. When you play the Phoenix Suns, you have to sprint back and see the basketball. You can't let them get on top of you, because that's a big part of their attack. When Stoudemire runs out and someone else has to pick him up, you must communicate so that you can get matched up as best you can.
The last Phoenix lead was at 8:55 to play in the first quarter. Mavericks led by 14 with 4.5 to play in the first. Suns on a 22-9 lead. There's an interception, a 3-on-1 for the lead. Steve Nash, but a great play deflected by the defending Jason Terry.
Remember, we talked about turnovers and steals in Game 1. All of a sudden now Dallas getting careless as Phoenix has picked up their level of aggression. Dallas now must maintain their composure.
22-9 run dating back to the late stages of the first half by the Phoenix Suns. Nash, Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire has a Phoenix high 13 points to match the 13 of Michael Finley for Dallas.
Well, Jerry Stackhouse coming in for one of the bigs. I'm sure Dampier, they're going to go to that small lineup once again. But Dallas has not responded to this big surge from Phoenix out of the locker room.
There's a pick and roll with Dampier and Terry. And as Dampier went down the lane, he was fouled on the play. And a third foul tagged on Quentin Richardson of the Phoenix Suns.
Well, Steve Nash just uses that pick and roll. He keeps his dribble. Again, Dirk Nowitzki running away from the basketball. You saw Kenny at halftime show you about 2 or 3 screen rolls. That weak side man is in charge with that guy rolling. So when you go through, you can't have your back turned. You've got to turn and see if your teammate needs help. It's a miss by Dampier, but screen roll defense requires more trust probably than any defensive thing you do, other than maybe double teaming the post where you have to rotate. But if you're going to trap on all those pick and rolls, you got to be on a string on that weak side.
Now, we've seen a lot of it. Yao and McGrady, of course, in the first round, and there's a little bit of Memphis, but Dallas has been looking at that. You play it soft, you play a little bit soft at that screen and roll.
Well, I think it's based on personnel. You got to make that decision. That's what they started doing, Dallas against Houston, and forced McGrady and Yao Ming to score all the points. Here's Nash in the lane. But Phoenix has got too many weapons. You can't try to guard just 2 guys. They're too balanced.
Here's Terry with that Nash-like floater inside. Here comes Jackson. Suns by 1, and now by 3. I don't know if it was Marion. Looked like maybe Stoudemire tapped it in.
Well, Stoudemire just going to sprint that floor, go right to the front of the rim. All that good work by Dallas now going to be really put to the test. They're down by 3. Can they pull it together here?
Nowitzki to Dampier. And a foul on Amari Stoudemire. And Doug, that is number 3 on him. And we were coming into this game thinking that Mike D'Antoni had to really leave Stoudemire out of foul trouble. And we know that Stoudemire himself really frames from a lot of hard, heavy hitting inside.
Well, that's why you heard our studio guys talking about the importance of throwing the ball down there in the post. Now, Dampier's got to step to the line and make some free throws, but you've got to make Amari Stoudemire work on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, he's going to be sprinting that lane like a sprint relay champion in a track meet, and there's nobody on Dallas that can keep up with that kind of speed. So if you don't try to work him on both ends of the floor, same thing with Steve Nash. You have to screen him, make him work. And they got 7 players they play, and now with Joe Johnson being out, they're down to a 6-man rotation.
Dallas with their 14th free throw attempt right here. Phoenix has taken 17 attempts, and here come the Suns.
When a team's making a run, you can't walk up and miss 3 out of 4 free throws. Those are deadly. That's what extends runs.
Nash. And Marion dropped it, got it back. Phoenix Suns on a 13-3 run to start this third quarter. Michael Finley and Dirk Nowitzki for 3. Good. Nowitzki nails it. He's got 15 for the Mavericks.
You should have seen Sean Marion know how quickly he was down the floor.
That was just the momentum of Nowitzki climbing on the back of Nash.
See what Steve Nash does in that situation, you see it a lot. He drives into the big man, and he's going to turn and shuffle the ball back to the guy who's trailing to look to shoot the jump shot. He does that so often, and Nowitzki that time just went right over his back.
And as you have said in the past, Nash can stop on a dime, and that's very tough. There's an alley-oop. Nice pass. They got Marion up high, and Jimmy Jackson with the assist.
Now Dallas right now got that glazed look in their eyes. Like, guys, who's going to do it? Well, I tell you who's going to do it. They're going to have to do it collectively, and they've got to get better defensively.
It's Nowitzki with the good spin on Marion. And Dallas back on top by a point.
Weak side defense against Phoenix. All these pick and rolls, weak side defense.
Now Finley on Nash on the switch. Nash. Picked up by Nowitzki. Dirk has 9 rebounds and 17 points. Michael Finley has put in 13. Now 15 points, 6 of 8 from the field.
What a tough shot. But again, Kevin, he loves to set you up. He loves to come back to that left hand, shoot that jump shot, usually 1 or 2 dribbles. He made a career out of it, and a great one.
There's Nash. Stackhouse is on him now. There's a foul, and it's all on Michael Finley.
Now, Michael Finley was really trying to work him, hope that he could maybe pick up an offensive foul and get Stoudemire's 4th. Instead, it's Finley's 3rd. Going back to that small lineup, and Michael Finley working hard down there to try to keep Stoudemire out of the posted area.
A lot of cross matches in this game, Doug, defensively. A lot of cross matches. Inside they go, Stoudemire. Here comes Stackhouse. Jason Terry is 3 of 8. Finley and Josh Howard for 3. Picked up by Richardson. The Mavericks are 2 of 8 shooting threes. Phoenix 4 of 10. Rebound Nash.
He missed the shot, gets it back, and gets his team a 3-point shot.
Nash now has 8 assists. And Jackson, coming off the bench, has scored 6 in 18 minutes for the Phoenix Suns.
And just hustle plays.
Dallas is shooting 48%. Nowitzki with Nash defending. Rebound by Richardson. Here come the Phoenix Suns. 41% from the field. Dallas trying to lob it inside. Nowitzki has it. Dallas has numbers. It's Howard. Howard for 2 and a foul.
Quentin Richardson again loves to try to take offensive fouls. Josh Howard outrunning the wing, and Kevin, Dallas has done a nice job here. They sort of become fragmented. They got hit with a 13-3 run. Phoenix had taken the lead. See, it's not so much where the guy is when you finish, it's where he is when you take off. And if they rule that you're in the air and you're moving over underneath him, that's a bang-bang kind of call. It used to almost always go to the defense. Any close play like that. This year, you're seeing more go to the offensive players.
Marquise Daniels comes in for Jason Terry. Leandro Barbosa comes up and in the game for Richardson, who now has 4 fouls. And with the miss right there by Howard, who is out there with Stackhouse and Daniels and Nowitzki and Finley. That's the Dallas 5. They've got Marion, Nash, Stoudemire, Jackson, and there's a whistle.
8-second violation. Now, when would you see the Phoenix Suns get an 8-second violation walking the ball up the floor?
I bet it hasn't happened more than twice in the regular season.
Maybe not at all.
Maybe not at all.
And that's just a lapse in concentration. You normally don't see that from Steve Nash.
Stoudemire, Barbosa, Nash, Marion, and Jackson, the Phoenix 5.
Yeah, well, Barbosa's going to have to come in and deliver now with Joe Johnson being out with that head injury and getting his eyes stitched up.
Stackhouse and Jackson defending. Jerry Stackhouse with the slash. Picked up by Stoudemire. They got numbers the other way. Nash and Jackson for 3. What an acquisition Jimmy Jackson has been for the Phoenix Suns.
In the Memphis series, did not play much in the first couple games. Mike D'Antoni said, I need to get him more minutes to get him in a better rhythm, cut back his rotation, and Jimmy Jackson has responded.
And look at Finley trying to respond to Jackson. Michael Finley, 17 points, which is a game high. 6 of Finn's 17 have come in this third quarter. What a terrific third quarter it's been. At halftime, Dallas led by 8.
The pace of the game now, though, starting to favor the Phoenix Suns. In the first half, I thought it was Dallas tempo, now starting to be favored by the Phoenix Suns.
What'd you say in one of your keys? Run, run, run if you're a Phoenix guy.
And that's what they're going to do for 48 minutes, and that's why you've got to be composed, Kevin. You can't have letdowns.
Suns have had 3 turnovers in this quarter. There's a 3 missed by Stackhouse. The rebound is picked up by Phoenix. It's the Brazilian Barbosa the other way.
Jerry Stackhouse only 2 of 10 off the bench, so struggling. He's had some good looks, has not been able to finish.
Howard is guarding Nash. And a foul on Josh Howard.
How does he do that?
I don't know. I do not know. And I don't think Josh Howard knows either.
I mean, just he's looking at the defender, and he's just sort of rocking you back and forth. Look at him, just rocking you, and eventually goes around, gets about 3 inches off the floor. Look at this. I mean, gets his shoulder inside, probably weighs about 180 pounds soaking wet, and gets to where he wants to go on the floor. 3-point play.
Howard picks up his 3rd foul for Dallas, and the 2-point Phoenix lead.
Going inside to Finley with Nash. They're going to have to try to double team. They need to swing the ball to the other side of the floor. Nice job by Phoenix that time, running off that post up.
Here's Finley. Good pass inside Howard. Michael Finley with a sensational feed. We're tied at 70. Look at that Nash pass. Barbosa lost it as he was going on that baseline. Looked like maybe a piece of him was taken by Finley. Michael Finley, who is defending, picks up foul number 4. So he's got 4 for Dallas. 3 on Howard and Nowitzki. And then for the Phoenix Suns, they got 4 on Richardson. He's on the bench, but other than that, 3 on Stoudemire, and Barbosa at the line for the Suns.
You know, one of the things that Dallas is really struggling in is the transition defense. They're not getting matched up, and it's really killing them in this quarter.
Here we go with the Sunday TNT schedule, an exclusive doubleheader of Game 4, Spurs and Sonics. San Antonio up 2-zip. Doug and I will be in Dallas on Sunday night with the Suns and Mavs. Coverage beginning at 6:30 Eastern Time with the TNT NBA tip-off presented by Nokia. Terry is in. Finley is out.
Now, Barbosa is capable of exploding and throwing up some big numbers. Right now, he's a little bit more of a scorer than a playmaker. And they're hoping that the more time he spends with Steve Nash, he'll sort of morph into that role of being able to do a better job of running the team.
Barbosa just picked up a foul, trying to hold on for dear life with Daniels down low. That's the first on Leandro Barbosa.
Well, you can see what's happened now, what Avery Johnson has done. He has Jason Terry matched up against Nash. He's got Marquise Daniels, who's a very good low post player with Barbosa. So they'll probably try to go inside to him to free him up and let him post up a little bit.
There he goes, down low like you'd call, but Nowitzki will wheel inside himself. And that is a foul, and the driving of Dirk Nowitzki has helped this game go with Dallas on an offensive feel with 19 now Nowitzki that we did not see in game one.
Watch what he's doing. He's coming back with that left hand. So he's going in with his right hand, and as the guys go up to block his shot, he's switching hands and coming back with that left hand. We've seen him do that 3 times tonight and get fouled going to the basket.
Shawn Marion has 3 fouls, and Dallas, Doug, in this third quarter from the free throw line, 1 of 5.
Well, 3 of 4 misses by Dampier in that one stretch when they were on that 13-3 run. And here's Nowitzki. You cannot miss free throws on the road in a close playoff game. Miami Heat missed 18 last night against Washington. It almost cost them.
Almost cost them indeed. It's Jackson for 2. And picked up by Barbosa with an offensive rebound. Stoudemire got the laser pass in on Nowitzki, and the foul on Dirk Nowitzki.
How would you like to be the defender and Amari Stoudemire catch the ball at that dotted line, and he turns and looks at you, and you go, uh-oh.
Like sharks to whale meat.
Like, uh-oh, what is he going to do to me here on national television?
Buckle up and brace yourself. We're back in Phoenix, and for tonight's In the City, presented by Dodge, our Hemi-powered Charger is cruising through Phoenix, Arizona. Doug Collins drove this from the mountains where his home is with his beautiful wife, Kathy, with the final destination, America West Arena, where the Suns are taking on the Mavs tonight in Game 2 of these Western Conference semifinals between the Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. In Game 1, Phoenix won by 25. Tonight, Dallas is led by 14. The Suns have led by as many as 3. And Doug, a game that has contained 14 lead changes and 2 ties.
Well, we are set for some kind of finish. Again, I'm going to point to Dallas's composure. They know how important this game is, Kevin. They do not want to go down 0-2. Have to win 4 of 5 from the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix was the best road team in the NBA at 31-10. So for Dallas, they have to find a way, no matter what it is, to try to get this game tonight. And for Phoenix, they know how big it is. It could give them a huge cushion, especially if they could win this game without the services of Joe Johnson in the second half.
Well, when you put it like that, you know it's hard to see a Game 2 in the best of 7 series is vital, but sure enough, I think we have arrived at that mark. And the numbers right there from Amari Stoudemire. In games this regular season against Dallas, and Game 1 and Game 2.
Well, in the Game 1, he had to hit a few jump shots. Tonight, every one of his points is either on a dunk, a layup, or a free throw. That's why you've got to try to get this guy out of the lane and make him be somewhat of a jump shooter. But you know what? He's not having the best of shooting games, but he's worked himself. Probably it's going to be a 30-point night when it's all said and done, just with his energy and hustle.
Dallas is shooting 49% from the floor. Terry is 3 of 8. Dampier is 6 of 7. Shot clock is at 5. That was deflected and taken by Jimmy Jackson. Buckle up for Shawn Marion.
Deflection, steals, easy scores.
Marquise Daniels. That's an interception. 2 in a row by Jackson. Marion again the other way. And a foul is called on Jason Terry. And now the Suns are exploding.
Need I say the importance of taking care of the ball? The deflection by Jimmy Jackson. Who is there? Shawn Marion, Mr. Reliability, the guy who fills up the stat sheet. Here's the double team once again, picked off this time again by Jimmy Jackson. Who's on the end of the break again? Shawn Marion. This guy ignites his teammates, his crowd. Wow, what a year, what a playoff series this young man is having. Goes all the way back to the Olympics, where I thought he was one of the bright lights on that Olympic team that did not play well over in Athens.
Doug, Shawn Marion is the only player in the playoffs with a double-double in every game this postseason.
It's pretty impressive when you think of all the guys who are playing and all the great players.
7-0 run by Phoenix. Finley for 3. That was very, very needed. Only the 3rd of 10 that the Mavericks have knocked in above the arc. We told you Dallas shooting about 50%. The Suns are shooting 44% from the floor. Marion. And, a shove on Dampier. A foul. Oh, hold on to your possession. So because they know the game is getting a little chippy, and he picks up his third personal foul. There's Eric Dampier.
Stoudemire going to the line to shoot his 11th and 12th free throws. Kevin, he shot 17 in game 1. Got off to a slow start tonight, missed his first 4 shots. He has 11 rebounds, going for his 18th and 19th points. So he's a young man who's learning to find ways to score. He's only taken 12 shots, but he has a hunger to see that ball go in the basket. And again, he knows there's no one on that front line of Dallas who has the speed to match up with him if he can just keep the game going at his pace.
Leading scorer with 20 is Michael Finley. 3 other players in this game with 19 apiece. Marion, Stoudemire, and Nowitzki. Michael Finley guarded heavily by Marion. What great defense by Sean Marion to Steve Nash. Barbosa. And snatched inside by Dampier. Marquise Daniels. And Finley for 3. Good! Michael Finley, 9 of 12 in a game-high 23.
He's coming up with big shots to keep his team in the game. He's had about 3 jumpers in this quarter when they were on the ropes.
12 points in the quarter, right, Doug, for Michael Finley. For Dallas, there's a travel on Amari Stoudemire of the Phoenix Suns.
This guy's done it his entire career. We saw it here in the regular season. Hit 2 big threes late in the game. Had a 33-point night in here when Dallas came in the regular season. And Mike D'Antoni was upset because 2 of the players stayed back in the backcourt trying to trap Dampier and gave them a fast break on the other end.
No fouls to give either way. This is for the tie by Finley. Rebound by Barbosa, and Phoenix is +4 tonight in rebounding.
A chance 2 for 1 possession if they go here quickly.
Nash. Oh, no. Pass to Marion. Steve Nash, the MVP of the NBA, has just dished out his 10th assist tonight. But none prettier than that.
Left hand, you got 2 shot blockers coming. Just flip it over to Marion. Now Jerry Stackhouse wants to drive right here. They're going to push him to his left hand and try to make him pass the basketball. He gets right anyway. Jimmy Jackson's got to overplay that right hand.
You know Stack well.
Well, he's such a powerful player when you let him get to the right. When he goes left, you can get him somewhat under control. He can still finish on you at the basket, but going right, he's so powerful.
The first foul goes on Jimmy Jackson. This is Jerry Stackhouse at the free throw line for the first time tonight with 4 points, 2 of 10 shooting from the field. A free throw right there. We keep talking about the free throws, but it is a very definite part of this game. 9 of 17, the Mavericks. 18 of 25 from the line, the Phoenix Suns.
Well, the Suns were +14 makes in that category in game 1. Tonight, +8. Make it now +7.
Final seconds. This is Barbosa. Not in time. An electrifying 13 points, third quarter by Sean Marion. Will Phoenix go up 2 games to none? Can Dallas tie the series at 1-1 with the series going back to Texas? You're watching the Western Conference semifinals, Game 2 on TNT. We're back in Phoenix with Doug Collins and Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. The Phoenix Suns lead by 2 after trailing at halftime by 8 points.
Well, Michael Finley with some timely shooting for Dallas. Every time it looked like Phoenix was set to push some distance between them and the Mavs, he hit some big shots, 2 big threes, the post up. He had 12 points in that quarter. Dallas weathered a huge storm there, Kevin. When you look at the numbers, 23 points for Michael Finley, 12 in that third quarter. But the thing that stood out to me in Phoenix, they had 9 points off turnovers in that quarter. They had 10 fast break points after only having 4 in the entire first half. So the third quarter was played at their pace. Can Dallas get the pace back in their direction and try to close out this game and get a win on the road?
But as you were saying, Doug, Dallas has weathered the storm, and it was a huge one that blew in their way, and they trailed just by 2 going to the fourth quarter.
Well, Phoenix saw their first half not played at the level they like to play, but also, too, they saw their teammate be taken to the hospital at halftime, and that's a sobering effect on a team. And they came out and really, with a fury, came after the Mavericks.
Eric Dampier has put in 13. He's out there with Howard and Daniels, along with Finley and Stackhouse. Rebound by Dampier. And they wheel inside with Stackhouse. And that is a foul, and it goes on the Phoenix Suns. And Jimmy Jackson is tagged with his second as we go to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Kevin and Doug, Michael Finley is in his 10th season, and he said this is a special time of the year for him. He said he doesn't want to look back at his career and said, I had a great opportunity to win a lot of games and contend for a title and didn't make the most out of the opportunity. And right now he's doing everything he can to steal this one on the road.
Daniels slithers inside for two. And that ties the game at 82. The Suns had a big lead of 6. Dallas closing out that third quarter on an 8-4 run. That third quarter on an 8-4 run. It's Stoudemire inside. Wow, what a shot.
That was good defense. That was just better offense. He hung in the air, kissed it off the glass. You know, Kevin, the interesting thing about the Mavericks is they were the Suns 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. Small ball, up-tempo. Everybody said they couldn't do it. And now the Suns are trying to do something Dallas couldn't get done, and that's to get to the NBA Finals, maybe win a championship.
Daniels hits again. Daniels has 7 points off the bench. 13 bench points by Dallas. 10 bench points by the Phoenix Suns. Jackson. Oh, rejected by Stackhouse. What a swallow inside. Now they've got Marion, Barbosa, Stoudemire, Jackson, and Richardson, the Phoenix 5, and a big-time 3 nailed by Michael Finley, and he's got 26, which is a game high.
You cannot go under the screen on that. You've got to chase him over the top and get a hand in his face. Too good a shooter, and he's on too good a roll right now.
And Stoudemire inside. Howard was defending. And Dampier was in there as well. Dampier picks up the foul.
Look at this block by Jerry Stackhouse. Met him right at the top. We've seen Sean Marion pull those kind of plays. See where Barbosa goes underneath the screen. That's too much space. Finley's shooting the ball too well. Now, if a guy's struggling, maybe you want to do that. But when a guy's shooting the ball well, Kevin, you got to fight over those screens and let him know that you're chasing him from behind to try to distract him.
This is Amari Stoudemire, who now is 10 of 13 from the free throw line, 6 of 13 from the field, 22. Finley with the game high, 26. And now coming the 27th free throw attempt by the Phoenix Suns to the 18 of the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, all of this done being with Dirk Nowitzki over on the sideline getting a little bit of a rest, so he should be fresh and ready to go, come back in to finish this game. So the Mavericks doing a nice job here while their best players on the bench resting.
Nowitzki, Dampier, Finley with 4 fouls apiece. Michael Finley, no one on him.
Oh, wide open. Michael Finley won't get a better shot than that.
Finley is 10 of 15. Jackson off the bench with 9 points, taking the place of Joe Johnson. And there's Stoudemire. Finley saved by Marion. Richardson for 3.
Those are killers. Offensive rebounds for 3-point shots. Those are like daggers as you're trying to win on the road. Extra shots, extra possessions. Quentin Richardson spots up and knocks it down. Tied Kyle Korver this year for the most threes made in the NBA this season. Had the most attempts. That is his forte. Dallas has got to get back together here and get a score.
The Dallas Mavericks have led by 14 points. The Phoenix Suns have led by 6. Now tonight's Lamisil step-up play of the game. Turned in by the NBA's MVP, Steve Nash. He's had a lot of these tonight. He's got a double-double. That one of his 10 assists. He's also knocked in 15 points. And Nash, who is taking a breather on the sideline, will watch. And that's the top assist tandems in the league. Number 1, Nash to Stoudemire. Number 2, Nash to Sean Marion.
That's 491 of his assists to those 2 guys. That's more than I got in my career.
Rebounding in this game, +4 for the Suns, has not been a big story.
You always know what a team is thinking coming out of a timeout. Who are they going to go to get the shot? Watch Nowitzki coming off the screen here.
Dirk just got back in. The shot clock is down to 9. Jerry Stackhouse guarded by Jimmy Jackson. Finley over Stoudemire. Oh, another big hit by Michael Finley. He's got a game-high 29, 11 of 16. Finley is at 5 3-point shots.
And Mike D'Antoni said to Amari Stoudemire, you must stay attached to Michael Finley. That's going to be an offensive foul on Stoudemire inside as Finley got the position. That'll be his 4th. But let's watch the matchups now. A small lineup for Dallas on the floor. There's the contact as Stoudemire pushes off with his arm. Let's see who Stoudemire is guarding. He's guarding Josh Howard. So they're going to go at him off the dribble, make him play, and see if they can exploit that matchup a little bit.
Stackhouse 2 of 10. Jackson knocked it away and picked up a foul.
That's a great matchup there. Jimmy Jackson and Jerry Stackhouse, 2 very tough veteran players. Guys who physically are tough. They will compete. Jerry Stackhouse has had a very quiet night, 2 of 10 from the floor. Was involved with that play with Joe Johnson as he tried to block that dunk late in the half.
Jackson picks up his 3rd foul. ESPN tomorrow, beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, gives you Miami at Washington and San Antonio at Seattle. Miami and the Spurs lead their respective series, 2 games tonight. Cheryl Miller and Doug Collins. This is Kevin Harlan. We're in Phoenix, and this is Game 2, Western Conference semifinals. Phoenix up 1 game tonight.
One of the things that Mike D'Antoni has got to make sure his team understands is don't leave Michael Finley. This guy's a big game shooter. Whoever's guarding him cannot help out on the floor. You've got to stay attached. He's 11 of 16 for the floor, 29 points.
Phoenix at 44% from the field. Nash to Barbosa. Nice fake by Barbosa on Daniels, who sticks with it and finally gets the ball. And here comes Dallas shooting 51% from the field.
Small lineup again for Dallas. Nowitzki playing actually as the 5-man, guarded by Marion.
Now the switch, and Marion is on Finley. And Richardson draws a foul with the great fake by Nowitzki.
Keep our eye now on that free throws as they start to mount. It's 5 on Quentin Richardson, but getting into the penalty. Remember, that controls tempo, Kevin. If you can get to that line, slow the game down, takes away from Phoenix's ability to try to run.
Well, you gave a great number the other night, Doug, in Game 1, saying that Phoenix commits the fewest fouls of any team in the NBA. Now tonight, they've committed 20 as a team and 21 by Dallas.
Normally they commit 19 fouls a game. They give up about 21 free throws. So that's a big part of their plan. And Mike D'Antoni, I was talking to him before the game, he said when Jimmy Jackson and Walter McCarty came here, we had to stress to them, we don't want to take a lot of fouls. Their mentality was to take hard fouls around the basket. He said we had to let them know we did not want to do that. We want to keep the game moving.
Finley to Daniels, and Walter McCarty in the game. On him. Nowitzki. Marion. Oh, what a fake by Nowitzki to get that shot away. The 12th rebound by Stoudemire with his 23 points for Phoenix. Nash over his buddy Nowitzki.
Well, when you're struggling, get in the hands of Steve Nash. He'll make the right decisions.
Again, they go on that left side with Nowitzki through the hands of Howard and the other way with Nash. Turnover number 13 by the Dallas Mavericks. 12 by Phoenix. Nash into Howard and a foul. So Nash will go to the free throw line. A shot to the head by Josh Howard of the Dallas Mavericks and tagged with his 4th.
I think Dallas has to be very careful not to just throw the ball to Nowitzki and start standing around and try to play out the double teams. They're better when they get movement. You can still get post-ups and all, but you got to do it on the move. The last couple possessions, Kevin, they've gotten very stagnant. There's Jason Terry's had a very, very quiet night. He's about ready to check back in the game.
Only 3 of 8, Doug.
And 2 assists, 6 points. And remember, he was the MVP of that Houston series. 32 on the road in Game 4, and then the big Game 7, 31 points, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. In the first 2 games of this series, he's not attempted a free throw.
And then he shot. Mavericks have 4 starters with 4 fouls as we approach 7 to play in the 4th.
Let's see if Dallas gets some movement to their offense.
Terry is in. They've sent Daniels to the sideline, and here's Stackhouse. Jackson on him. Let's see the screen. They switch up the defense, and now Marion is on Stackhouse. And the shot clock at 5.
That wasn't a good possession. Good defense by Phoenix. Forced a jump shot.
Nash. Finley guarding him. Slipping it inside to Stoudemire. Foul on Josh Howard.
Did you see Steve Nash orchestrate that whole play? He was out at the top, and he goes, okay, let me see. Who's guarding who? Oh, okay, they've got a small player on Stoudemire. Watch what he does here. Get in there. You'll make a little room. Like, get in the post right there, and I'll get you the ball. There, now score.
And there's no camouflage around what he wants to do. He just says, get in there, and we all see it.
Well, see, you know, when Magic was playing for the Lakers, they would run, and then last 6-8 minutes, they had to get into a half-court game, and Magic was the master of that. Steve Nash, what he does well, they run, but then you get the ball in his hands last 6 or 7 minutes, and he'll make the right decisions. They were down 3 points. Nowitzki missed a jumper that made it 5. And Nash has come back and single-handedly been a part of all these points to give his team the lead again. That's what you have to do. You have to be able to execute in, under pressure in the playoffs.
Such command for Nash.
You see Walter McCarty is Velcro defender.
Daniels for the tie. Daniels with the rebound. Knocked away by Marion's defense, picked up by Walter McCarty of the Phoenix Suns.
Pull up 3, nobody's got him.
Nash. And to the hands of Stoudemire, but then he chases it down. What great hustle by third-year player Amari Stoudemire.
Last time they did this, remember Quentin Richardson hit a 3.
The mismatch against Nowitzki for Nash. Hand into Marion. And Dirk Nowitzki grabs rebound number 12 with his 19 points.
We're going to need Jason Terry here. He's got to get himself involved.
Finley is at 5 threes. Go position for 2 for the top.
Dallas has got really stagnant with their offense. A lot of one-on-one dribbling now.
Jimmy Jackson curls in on Terry. And out of bounds and off the Dallas Mavericks with 5:33 to play. A timeout is taken. And the screws tighten even further as Dallas tries to tie the series and Phoenix tries to take a 2-0 lead to Texas. 40 games in 40 nights. These are the playoffs on TNT.
NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Hyundai. To see the full line of Hyundai's cars and SUVs, visit HyundaiUSA.com. By Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. By Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. And by Sprite and Thirst, reminding you to obey your thirst.
Phoenix by 2 with 5.5 to play in regulation. Doug, let's revisit the keys you thought were so important for the blueprint of the success of the Dallas Mavericks tonight.
Well, when you get beat by 25, you've got to say, well, where can we cut some of these points off? And points from threes, free throws, points in the paint, and off turnovers. Dallas was minus 56 in those 4 areas. Tonight, minus 22. So they're in good shape there. Control the pace. They only shot 12 free throws in game 1. Tonight, 20 still with a little over 5 minutes to go. I thought they needed to shoot 46% or better from the field. They're doing that. Their turnovers are down. It's a 2-point game. It's right there for them, Kevin. And you want to talk about the magnitude of this game as you look in Avery Johnson's eyes. Dallas wins. They take the home court. Phoenix wins the last 5 minutes here. It's a 2-0 lead. And all they have to do is win 2 out of the last 5 games. That's what this game means here right now.
19 lead changes, 6 ties in this game. Leading scorer in the contest with 29 is Michael Finley, who has drained 5 threes for the Dallas Mavericks. Joe Johnson is out. And a cut over his eye late in the first half. Been at the hospital. More on that to come and inside. Here is Nash. That's deflected. And it goes out of bounds. Phoenix with Stoudemire and McCarty, Nash and Richardson and Marion.
Well, that'd be even more impressive for Phoenix to win this game without Joe Johnson in the second half. Remember, he had a brilliant game one where he had 25 points.
Yes.
And as the backup point guard to Steve Nash. So, you know, Nash now has to play all these minutes because there's no Joe Johnson to handle the ball.
Nash. Daniels follows Nash down the lane. Rebound through the hands of Nowitzki. Pickpocketed by Nash. A fresh shot clock and a wide open three. There's a Marion miss. The hustle by Terry goes against Marion, who's got 5 blocks tonight, and Sean Marion picks up the foul. The Mavericks have not scored from the field, Dog, in the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds, missing their last 5 shots from the floor.
Well, I thought they got very stagnant. They started throwing the ball, doing a lot of dribbling, throwing to Dirk, standing around, and that's what Phoenix wants them to do. They're much better with movement in their offense.
This is Jason Terry, first trip to the line tonight. Somewhat of a surprise. The TNT schedule on Sunday night. Exclusive doubleheader action of Game 4. Spurs and Sonics. Doug and I will be in Dallas for the Suns and Mavs. Coverage beginning at 6:30 Eastern Time with the TNT NBA tip-off presented by Nokia.
Now, Kevin, we're very lucky here at TNT. We got the best first-round matchup in Dallas and Houston. We got the best second-round matchup. You and I the best seats for the second round, Phoenix and Dallas.
Nash got it to drop, and Steve Nash, 21 points and 10 assists. Jason Terry, who just put in his first points of the half and gets more right there.
Well, we talked about he's going to have a strong finish, but he's going to have to do it on both ends of the floor here now. Nash is going to come right back at him. And Marquise Daniels actually on Nash trying to use a bigger body.
Screen by Stoudemire. They double Nash.
Now, Steve, you make that one. That is a tough, tough shot.
And we go the other way, and Dallas will inbound.
Kevin, right now matchups. Keep our eye on matchups. Dallas has gone back to the big lineup again. Dampier's in the game against Stoudemire and Nowitzki, so they've gone from the small lineup back to the big lineup.
They got Terry, Daniels, and Finley in there as the small guy. Oh, Nowitzki had almost torn away, and he did by Stoudemire. What great hustle, but then he stepped out of bounds.
Dirk has been a little careless the last few minutes. He let Marion take a rebound away from him. Stoudemire just knocks that ball loose. You know, you heard Kenny Smith say it at halftime. He was very critical of Eric Dampier before the game. That puts a lot on your shoulders. The game is tied. You're the best player. Now you must come through for your team. Rebounding, defending, making shots, whatever it takes.
Jimmy Jackson has just come in for Walter McCarty for the Phoenix Suns. Shot clock at 2. Finley's got a foul. Over Marion. Good! What a shot by Michael Finley. He's put in a game-high 31 points. Nash. Oh, and he's open. Daniels got caught up in the defensive switch, but he misses, and Terry gets it for the Mavericks. Holding on to a 2-point lead. Daniels tries to make it 4. Dampier taps it up and in. And Dampier with 15 points and 12 rebounds. Dampier collecting his 7th offensive rebound tonight. And the 15 by Dampier, a playoff career high. Stoudemire into Dampier. Counted for 2 and a foul.
No touch fouls. You got to take fouls at the basket and not let guys finish. This is what Avery Johnson talked to us before the game with Dampier. You're a big guy. You got to go in and you got to make him make 2 free throws. That screen roll, Avery Johnson's going to have to decide what they're going to do here in the last 3:23 because Stoudemire is going to be setting the screen. And with Dampier in the game, they were in a situation where he couldn't get out and cover. And you can see now Dampier's out of the game.
And Stackhouse has taken his place.
So he's going back to that small lineup again.
Picked up by Finley, and Dallas will nurse a 2-point lead the other way and approaching 3 to play in regulation. Terry slashing inside in his 4th quarter. Has changed the course. He's got 12, and 6 have come in the 4th.
Well, he's got his wake-up call at the right time for Dallas.
They double Nash. Jackson is picked up by Terry.
It's a big possession here for Dallas. Try to get a stop.
Stoudemire had it knocked away by Daniels. 3-on-2. Terry to Daniels. And that's a goaltend on Amari Stoudemire. Counted for 2. Daniels has put in 9 points in 27 minutes. And 6 of the 9 by Marquise Daniels in this fourth quarter.
Oh, the old pro Michael Finley steps back under intense defensive pressure from Sean Marion. Buries the long 2-point shot. Jason Terry, we said he'd been very quiet. Well, he has woke up here in this fourth period. Mavericks by 6.
Hey, we just got out-hustled. They outran us. We had them down on the boards by 5 at halftime. Now they got us down by 5. All right, come on, let's turn it around. Hey, you want to win the game? Then we got to keep them out of transition. They had 4 transition points the first half. They had 16 that quarter. No turnovers. Get back. Let's close them out like we did Houston. Let's win this last part of the fourth quarter. We're good at this part of the game. Let's finish
Those are all
it
the
off.
things, Doug, you talked about.
Well, Dale Harris said when he talks to Avery Johnson, he said, you know, I'm trying to teach Avery there's really 4 levels of coaching in the way you have to talk. There's conversational, there's teaching, there's reprimanding, and then there's going crazy. And the top 2, conversation and teaching, are the ones you have to really use the most. You can't go crazy very often. And you saw Dale Harris in that conversation there. He was conversational, he was teaching, and he was reprimanding. Guys, do you want to win the game? We can't turn the ball over. We got to get back in transition, and we got to rebound the basketball. This man has seen it all, and what a wonderful guy to have sitting next to Avery Johnson as he's learning how to coach.
And speaking of seeing it all, Dallas has been in a situation where they've been down in a series, like we saw in the first series against the Houston Rockets. They're familiar with this territory.
They feel very confident. Let's see if they can get the defensive stops necessary.
Nash by Nowitzki into Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire has been rugged again with 28 points and 14 rebounds. Michael Finley's got a game-high 31 for the Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas is going to have to keep scoring. You know, this is not going to be a defensive struggle at the finish, because you know Phoenix is going to score. Dallas has got to find a way to keep putting points on the board.
Nowitzki in this quarter 0 of 1. Daniels over Stoudemire. Rebound by Sean Marion, fouled by Marquise Daniels of Dallas.
You take a tough shot, you can't compound it by then going and fouling. Now what you do is you stop the clock. Phoenix can come down and get to free throw line. Dale Harris stood up and he looked at Nowitzki. Dirk had the shot, and he passed it to Marquise Daniels. 5 seconds on the shot clock. That's the shot Nowitzki has to take.
And he's only taken 1 shot in the quarter, and he missed that.
You know, he's got to be the guy that comes to the forefront. He and Michael Finley and Terry are the guys who have it going for Dallas right now. Those are the guys who are going to have to be the offensive weapons. But Marquise Daniels cannot run in there and commit that foul. Those are careless plays on the road that you cannot commit in a playoff game.
Upcoming is the 34th free throw attempt by Phoenix. 22 attempts at the line by Dallas tonight.
That 6-point lead down to 2 in a blink of an eye.
Michael Finley. Dirk Nowitzki.
Got to get movement here, not just standing. He's playing against one of the better defenders in the NBA.
Nowitzki with the spin and a foul on Sean Marion. And that is number 5 on Marion. Richardson playing with 5 for the Phoenix Suns. And for Dallas, 5 on Howard and 5 on Dampier.
Well, it's interesting. Dirk Nowitzki has 19. Michael Finley has 31. And in their careers, when these guys both get 20 in the same game, look at the record. This year, they have not been beaten. They're 1-0 in the playoffs, 31-5 over 2 years previous. That was his 20th point. Finley has 31. Will that be the recipe for success for them to find a way to steal the home court?
Dirk is 5 of 8 from the line. The Phoenix Suns, Doug, are plus 10 in free throws made tonight as a team.
But remember, Dallas took only 12 in the first game. Tonight, they have attempted 24. They've doubled it.
Which is what you said they had to do to be close. And the game is in the numbers that you wanted to see for Dallas. Inside Stoudemire, missing the alley-oop from Nash. A big rebound by Finley. And Dallas is -3 in rebounding tonight.
Well, we'll have to remember that play. Will this be a 4-point swing? A dunk that would have made it 2. Can the Mavericks push it to 6?
No fouls to give. Penalty both ways. Rest of the court. Nowitzki. Double. And the defense of Marion was there. Steve Nash. Amari Stoudemire. The tip. And loose inside. Vacuumed in by Nowitzki. And approaching a minute to play in regulation.
3 point blank shots there by Stoudemire. Normally he makes those shots. He had a tip dunk and 2 shots right around the basket. See Steve Nash going over to him, continuing to encourage him. There's still a lot of time left in this game. 3 or 4 possessions left.
The Suns have only gone 6 of 19 in the all-important 4th quarter, and they trail by 4 in game 2.
Are you meeting up with Jenny?
Let me check. Hey, Jenny, it's me.
Hold on, there's somebody on my other line. Hello?
Looks like it's time to sign up for the new Family Share Plan from Verizon Wireless. Get up to 3 lines for only $9.99 each after signing up for the first 2 lines for $59.99. All with unlimited in-calling to other customers from our coverage area.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
The 2005 Hyundai Santa Fe comes with V6 power, standard. 4 airbags, standard. Traction control system and ABS, standard. With more cargo space than Escape or Equinox. Plus, America's best warranty. The 2005 Hyundai Santa Fe. And now at your Hyundai dealer, the Santa Fe comes with $1,500 cash back or 1.9% financing.
I think both of us predicted we'd have a close game tonight. I don't know if we thought it'd be this close, but this has been a terrific game, too.
Well, Dallas is a very proud team. We saw that, Kevin, in the series against Houston when they lost the first 2 games at home. 14 seconds here on the shot clock. Obviously, Dallas would like to use a little time here, get themselves a good shot. On the flip side of that, they don't want to give up any 3-point plays or leave a 3-point shooter, because you don't want 2 possessions to then be able to beat you. 2 possessions, 5 points beat you, so you don't want to give up any 3s or 3-point plays. The guy who's been playing well the last few minutes is Jason Terry. Let's see if they try to get the ball in his hands.
It's Stackhouse with a good spin move. Johnson fell astray, and it's a charge and wipe it away. It's on Stackhouse, picking up number 3.
Well, let's watch Jerry Stackhouse. He spins to come back. Watch now. And you can see that left arm, the moment it gets away from your body, in the NBA, that's an automatic foul.
Less than a minute to play, and again, no fouls to give. What a pass by Nash into Stoudemire.
Where is the weak side defense? Avery Johnson saying the weak side has got to give some help. That was way too easy if you're the Dallas Mavericks. They'll say Jason Terry's got to look for his shot here.
Into Marion. And throws it away. A crucial turnover for Jason Terry.
I think he saw the referee and thought he was one of his players, because that's exactly who he threw it to.
And now Phoenix has a chance to tie or take the lead. Nash against Nowitzki for the tie. Nash.
You want to know why he's the MVP? Last 2 plays of the game, he gets Stoudemire a dunk. He busts a jumper to tie the game, and it's a 3.4-second differential, which means they will get the ball back with a chance to win if they can get a stop.
Nash has put in 23 for the game, 8 in the all-important 4th quarter, and he has just tied it in game 2.
Isn't it romantic, the way we are tonight, you and I, 2 stars in the sky? Oh, stop it. Don't be jealous because I found something special. She may be far from Seattle, but she's never far from my heart. You are my dream come true.
Kevin, the reason this play is so tough to guard, the screen roll, is Stoudemire is rolling to the basket. These two guys are guarding three-point shooters. They're so afraid to help that the weak side does not come over at all because they know Nash has the capability of swinging that ball over on that weak side to get a three. He's the master of that. So that screen and roll is so difficult to defend because the weak side help is so fearful of that three-point shot.
Dallas will send Stackhouse, Nowitzki, Jason Terry, Michael Finley, and Josh Howard on the floor. And the Phoenix Suns have Richardson, Nash, Marion, Jackson, and Amari Stoudemire.
Well, if Phoenix can get a stop here, get a timeout, they're going to have plenty of time to be able to get a score. So they need a stop and a rebound. For Dallas, if you could get something going to the basket and get a foul, that's what you're looking for. Quentin Richardson must stay attached to Michael Finley, cannot help. I think you might see Jason Terry involved with a pick and roll with Nowitzki.
Difference of 2 seconds, game clock and shot clock. Terry, Nash on him. Richardson is on Nowitzki.
Doesn't want to settle for the jumper here. He's got to make something happen.
Nowitzki for the lead. And the Dallas Mavericks by 2. His first field goal since 3:11 left in the third quarter. Dirk Nowitzki has put in 23, grabbed 12 rebounds. And with just under 7 seconds left in regulation, he's put the Mavericks up by 2.
That's what stars do. Recognize he has a size advantage. Don't shoot a long jump shot. Take your time. Make sure you don't get an offensive foul. Shoot that little fading jump shot. You give your team a 2-point lead. Can Phoenix answer?
Each team with a 20, Doug, and that could be important for the Phoenix Suns.
Absolutely, because if you can't get it in, you've got the 20, so you don't have to panic. Now, if you're Dallas, you know you're going to see a screen roll with Nash and somebody. So you have to communicate, what are you going to do? Are you going to switch it? If you do, your big guy, if he's guarding Nash, you better make sure you chase him off the three-point line. A 3 beats you, a 2 ties you. So you don't want to give up a 3-point shot in this situation. They're going to have to communicate with one another. But the ball is going to be in Nash's hands, and my guess is there'll be a screen roll somewhere on the floor with he and Stoudemire.
Howard and Daniels out there defensively for Dallas with Nowitzki, Stackhouse, and Finley. The Suns with Stoudemire, Sean Marion, Nash, Richardson, and Jimmy Jackson, and 6 and 8/10 seconds to play in regulation.
Home court resting in the balance.
Jackson will inbound, and Finley will defend the inbound pass. Nash. Richardson. And this to go up 2-0 in the series. And Dallas has tied the series at 1-1 apiece. Winning in Phoenix tonight in a shocker 108-106 after getting blown out by 25 points in game 1.
If there's one word that you can say fits this Dallas team, it's resilient. This team has taken some knocks. First 2 games at home, did a wonderful job of chasing Quentin Richardson off the 3, made him relocate and put it on the floor. You knew it was going to be a screen roll. They switched it. Nowitzki came over, got a hand up. And man, what a big, big win for Dallas. But bouncing back after the 25-point loss, this Dallas team showed a lot of character tonight.
Richardson misses the 3. What about Michael Finley, who's with our Cheryl Miller? Cheryl, 31 points, and 20 came in the second half.
Well, Michael, after game 1's loss, Dirk called it embarrassing. You said we just came out flat. Tonight, a different intensity and focus.
Yeah, I think so. I think we were still a little bit mentally, a little bit physically drained from the series before, and it showed on the tape. And we made a conscious effort to come out here and bring energy right from the jump, and whatever happens, happens, and we matched their energy and took it up another level when we had to and got the win.
You know, you said to me earlier that you did not want to take anything away from Amari Stoudemire's game 1 performance, 40 points, but you said, you know what, we needed to make tonight uncomfortable for him. Do you feel you were able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, he had a career night in game 1. Like I said, he's a talented player, but any guy in this league, if he gets in the comfort zone, it's going to be a long night. So we just wanted to take him out of that comfort zone, contest a lot of his jump shots, throw random double teams at him when we had to, just make it a tough night for him. And for the most part, it worked.
Dirk obviously was a little bit critical of Dampier's performance in game one, but the big fella responded tonight with a double-double.
Yeah, I was happy for Damp because he's been getting, I think, a lot of unfair criticism, especially after game one. Everybody played terrible, but he stepped up to the challenge, made some big shots inside for us, got some key rebounds, and he just has to keep it up.
Well, Michael, he wasn't the only one that stepped up to the challenge. Thank you for the interview.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, DJ, Dallas Mavericks have accomplished what they set out to do. They go home to Dallas with a split. Let's send it back to you in our Atlanta studios.
All right, thank you very much, Cheryl. Quentin Richardson hit 226 three-pointers in the regular season. That tied with Kyle Korver for the most in the league. Could not get it to fall at the buzz. We're tied at a game apiece. Also tied at a game apiece in the Indiana-Detroit series. All the highlights and post-game talk coming up with Charles and Kenny on Inside.
You too, Magic. Oh.
Inside,